Okay, so you guys said that you wanted to see my show day tutorial makeup of, basically it is a pink brown smoky look. I went for more pink colors this year with my eyeshadow. I just find it really, really pretty and I think it shows very well on stage. I love makeup. It's like one of the I just love doing it. It's kind of a creative outlet for me. I only do it on myself. I don't do it on other people. And I am definitely not a professional by any means. None of the practices that I do are probably the right way, but it works for me. And well, I mean, if you're doing your own makeup, you're probably not a professional either. So I made a tutorial of this look. I think that this makeup look for stage is really good for more of like the purple, blue, cooler tone suits. I know pink is like a huge thing this year because Miss Olympia, of course, wore pink on stage and looked gorgeous and beautiful, and she wore it very well. I think that pink is a hard suit color to pull off, to tell you the truth. I think it takes a certain person, but I will say at this past show that I was at this past weekend, wow, there were a lot of pink suits and I knew that would be the case. So this eyeshadow look actually would probably look very pretty with it as well. I would maybe not go as heavy on the pink glitter because we really don't want our eyeshadow glitter to match our suit. That's very like not cute anymore. So I would maybe change it up. This does have quite a bit of pink glitter in it. I would maybe do more of a kind of like a neutral beige color glitter if you wanted to, less pink just so we're not so matchy. But like I said, I think it was really pretty with like purples and blue suits, possibly green, but I've never worn green, so I don't know. But anyways, I went ahead and made a tutorial for you guys. I will include all of the products that I used down below, and I hope you enjoy. And if you decide to try out my look, please tag me on Instagram. I would love it and appreciate it so much. Okay, so first of all, one of the most important steps about applying makeup is to definitely make sure your skin is super prepped and ready for makeup. So by that, I mean really moisturized. And this starts like days leading up to your show, really kind of exfoliating your skin on, exfoliating your face, making sure we're having a lot of moisturizer, making sure the under eye area is super moisturized. Plus, if your coach has you drinking a ton of water, that helps with skin as well. So those are a few things you can prep. Also, what really helps with makeup going uneven is to have our face kind of shaved. You can either do this professionally, get dermaplane, or honestly, the little facial razors you can get, at the drugstores here. Ignore my tan hands, they are getting better. But these work really well to kind of shave all over your face and remove like any of the fine peach hair. It really does help kind of set the makeup and let the makeup go on good. So my skin is already prepped. I've already kind of moisturized. I've already really moisturized my under eye area, and I am ready to apply my makeup. I will say, disclaimer, I am not a professional by any means. I do enjoy doing my makeup for the shows. I've had it done a few times professionally. I always end up fixing it afterwards to better what I like. So, for me, the hardest part is the face makeup part, not the eye makeup. And I always like to play it safe and go a little bit lighter on my makeup. I will say for this show I just did, I think for the prejudging, I went a little too light. I could have been a little bit darker, but given the last time I was on stage, my face was too dark and I hated it. I didn't have enough brightness, like especially in my stage shots. So this time I played it safe. For the night show, I did go a little bit darker on my foundation, just applied a little bit more, and I liked it a little bit better. So I will show you those kinds of tips and tricks and things I've learned along the way. But what's really important is, and you can't see this, is I have everything laid out. So anytime I do a show when I'm doing my makeup, I lay everything out. I have my brushes laid out. I have my makeup that I'm going to use laid out. Also, I've practiced this look many, many times before show day just to make sure I have it right. I never recommend you kind of waiting until the morning of the show to be like, okay, I'm gonna do my makeup and not have kind of run through anything. For me, the makeup is the easiest part. It's hair that's a little bit harder for me. So I did have to do my hair quite a few times to kind of get it down. And thank God on show day, you know, it really came out perfect and better than I had ever practiced it. So I'll probably do maybe like a hair thing soon, but like I said, it's the hardest part for me. I finally found like the right products and like the right amount of like volume that I needed and how to get there. So maybe I'll do a follow-up video with how you can do big poofy volume curly hair on stage. So for now, this is the makeup stuff. A few other things I like to have on hand is I have all my tools, all my makeup laid out. I also like to have an extra like dry paper towel and a wet paper towel, as well as some makeup wipes in case I mess up or I need to kind of clear the under my eyes from the makeup fallout. So I will share with you guys all the products that I used as well. I didn't use that many. I was able to find a good makeup palette that worked really well for me. So I will kind of share all of those along the way. Okay, so to begin, I like to start with my eye makeup first, and I like to do my actual like face makeup last, just because I like to kind of clean the under eye area once I get done with the fallout from all of the eyeshadow. So we're gonna start with eyeshadow first. It's the easiest for me. I don't necessarily use an eye primer on show day makeup. I just go straight for a concealer. I feel like it holds the makeup on. It's a little bit more lasting. So I will conceal all of my eyelids all the way up to my eyebrows here. I'll just kind of dab it in. After I apply my concealer for primer, I will go through and actually kind of set it with a little bit of setting powder. For show day stuff, I don't use really expensive products because I feel like we're using so much of it and then, you know, we're cleaning it off. So I just use the Morphe setting powder. It's nothing crazy. I think it's the translucent color here. So I'll just stab my finger and kind of set that concealer there to make it stay more here. Okay. Now the palette that I'm going to be using, I'm using two, but for the most part, I will use the Talkin Flirty Morphe palette. And I will also link all of the, you know, makeup stuff underneath here. But this one is the best for me because it had some really pretty pinks and, you know, kind of like a darker mauve colors. And then I will use a little bit of the Natural Born This Way because I like the dark brown truffle, and that's really the only color I use is that dark brown truffle. But for the most part, we'll be using the Morphe. And because this is a pink look, really going with like a pink with a little bit of a dark smoky brown in it, I'm gonna use the pinks out of here. So there's this color down here in the corner, this pink, and I'm just gonna use this as like my transition. So you're gonna all go through here. It's your transition color. And I'm gonna take it through right above the top of my creases on both sides. And you know, just really swipe and really blend it pretty good. So just put it above that crease there. It's pretty light, but like I said, it's your transition color, so it doesn't need to be super dark. So just apply a lot from the corner of my nose all the way out. So here's the thing about show makeup and doing kind of stage makeup is that you want everything to be like bigger and brighter and darker because you need it to pop on stage. And the point of it is you want your eyes to look bigger. So sometimes taking it out, I have pretty big eyes and I have big eyelids, but sometimes taking it out further. So I like to kind of use the corner of my eyebrow out here as like a reference of, you know, how far I want to take it out because I want my eyes to appear bigger. So we're going to go, you know, bigger than we normally would with our makeup. So I'm going to do both sides here. Okay, I feel like I have a pretty good little amount of transition color on. Of course, we're gonna go back and add more pink later, but it's there. Next, I'm just gonna use a little short fluffy brush like this, and I'm gonna pick up like these darker cocoa colors here, this one and this one. I'll use kind of a combo of both of those. And I'm gonna go I'm gonna keep everything towards the outside of my lid here. So One thing with doing the makeup there is that you don't want your eyelids to be super heavy and dark. And I see a lot of that. I had somebody one year do like black smoky across all of my eye. So if you have it real dark and heavy, I feel like on stage it's just really shadowy. But if you keep the dark kind of towards the outside here, it gives you more of just that like kind of smoky appeal, and you kind of keep everything light inside. So with those darker cocoa colors, we're just gonna take it and really do on the outside. So one thing when applying the darker color is you're gonna have a lot of fallout, and it's gonna look a little bit crazy at first, but in the end, you kind of go in and you clean it up and it looks better. So through the middle of it, do not panic or freak out if it looks dark or if it looks, you know, big. It's going to blend out, and you're also going to clean up underneath, so it'll be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the darker cocoa colors. Like I say, I kind of mix them and I stay on the outsides of my eyes so that I'm not having such heavy lids. The dark applied, as you can see, it gets a little crazy, but I also take the little fluffy brush and I go kind of right in the inside of that crease, just a little bit. I don't want to get it too much, but like I said, lots of fallout, and it seems really dark at first, but you will blend everything out and add more pink in there. You just want to get this color kind of really good and set on there. So I have that there. I'm going to go in and blend a little bit. I take that same transition color and I'll use a little bit of this other pink as well that's in here, and I will use it to kind of blend out a little bit back into that crease to keep it nice and light. I'm just using those two pink colors, kind of putting them both in there, just really blending this out all the way. I like to apply, blend, apply, blend, apply, blend, and just keep it, you know, keep it going like that. So I'm also going to take kind of a little pointy brush here, like so, like that. And I'm gonna take that darker brown down here. And I'm also, because it is a little bit purpley, I'm also gonna take some of the more brown truffle from the Born This Way palette. You could just use a regular brown if you had a darker brown. It's just what I have in this palette here. And I'm gonna apply it just to the corners here in my eyes, just to make that just a little bit darker. Again, on stage, you want to make your eyes seem like they're really big, so taking it out a little further than you would normally. And also, once you get your eyeliner on, you can kind of, you know, add a little bit more after that. Sometimes it takes having lashes and liner on to you know, add more smoke to it. Okay, so I have all the dark on there. You can go in and still kind of keep blending a little bit at the top, just to keep that pink going. I always blend with those pinks that I showed you at the very beginning. So after that, I want to kind of clean up a little bit and make that line a little sharper. So I'll take a makeup wipe here, a makeup remover wipe, and I'll kind of just clean up around the edges, take any fallout out from underneath my eye that kind of fell through putting on eyeshadow. And this is one of the reasons why I don't necessarily put on face makeup first. So here I'm just kind of cleaning it up. I'm still going to have lots of blending to do, but at least that's cleaned up for me now. Okay, I'm gonna go through and continue to just blend out with the, let's use a fluffy brush here. Fluffy brush, just the big fluffy brush. Use the pinks here, kind of blend through, just keep blending. You cannot over blend, so just blend, 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 so that you don't have any kind of harsh lines or too much darkness there. Now I'm going to go into my lids here. I'm not going to reapply any kind of concealer or anything like that. I'm just going to put on kind of a, I like to use this sparkly white color here to apply my base, because we will be putting on like a glitter. On stage, you want, you know, really shiny, glittery eyelids, and if they don't match your suit, that is okay. Preferably do not match your suit. But so I'm going to go ahead and put on this white here on my eyelids. And again, we want our eyelids to be nice and bright so they, you know, pop on stage, because all of those lights pretty bright. So I'll just keep applying the white here across my lid. It's time to put on the glitter, and I have experiments with lots of different glitter. My favorite has always been the Kitten Karma by Stila. This one's actually kind of old. I've had it for a couple years. I went and got a different kitten one, but it was the wrong one. I didn't like it. I took it back. However, for me this year, because I was doing more of a pink look, it wasn't pink enough for me, but I like the glitter aspect of it. So what I did before I apply that is I apply this Color Pop, and this is in Close to You, and it's a gel eyeshadow. So I love Color Pop because they are very like super pigmented, very like glittery, shimmery kind of eyeshadows, which is perfect. Plus, it's a very inexpensive makeup line. I really like it. So it is a jelly, which is kind of strange. Here, I just use my finger and I kind of take it off the lid here and I dab it on, and it's a really pink glittery, almost too pink for me, and it's why I will go over it with the kitten and add a little bit more glitter that's more neutral, because I don't really want like pink glitter on stage. I just wanted a hint of glitter. So I will go in and press it onto my lid here. Just press through the light areas. Just keep pressing, just keep pressing. It's on there now. Like I said, it's really a really pink color. And also, I will say this, if you're wearing a pink suit, because a lot of girls are wearing pink suits this year, I would not necessarily say to do pink glitter. I would do more of like a light beige glitter, because it doesn't look great when our glitter is matching our suit. We don't necessarily want our makeup to match our suit. Like I said in the beginning, I think that this makeup look will go best with like purples and blue suits. It could go with pink suits, but I would put a little bit more brown into it, a little bit more neutral, so that, you know, you're not having pink eyeshadow, pink suit. It's just a lot. Pink lipstick, that's a lot. So I would add a little bit more neutral. So I'm gonna let that, I kind of just let that dry a little bit. Now I'm gonna go through with the Kitten Karma. It is more neutral glitter and kind of applied on top, because like I said, if you can see, it's really pink, and I didn't want it super pink. I just wanted a hint of pink. Plus this is more glittery. So I just go through and kind of press the glitter, the Kitten Stila, however you say it, glitter on there here. Super glittery. And like I said, this is the Kitten Karma. There is another kitten by this brand. So when you're getting it, pay attention to which one you get. This one is Kitten Karma. My glitter all applied on there. I'm gonna go in and still kind of blend this out a little bit more. I am like that. I will add blend, add blend, add blend. So I'm gonna blend it out with a little bit of that white color I used on my lids, just at the very top, right underneath my eyebrows, before I start my eyebrows, so that it's not so dark all the way up here. So again, just blending, just blend, blend, blend all the time. I'm gonna go ahead and apply my eyeliner. So I like to use a liquid black liner here, and we're gonna just do kind of a thick line into a little bit of an angle cat line at the very end. Again, we can clean up that line, you know, at the very end with our makeup wipe here. So this part for me is hard, so I get my mirror a little bit closer, and I like to angle it up so that I'm looking down at the mirror this way, and I can go ahead and put my liner on. Everybody's eyes are different when it comes to cat, like the cat eye, like the wing. It's hard for me. I have very almond shaped eyes. So like they're very kind of like up and down. So the cat eye is difficult. I like to kind of, you know, tilt my mirror, look down and concentrate really hard. I got my eyeliner on. Before I put my lashes on, I like to go back and forth, you guys. Like I said, I am not a professional. So I'm gonna do my eyebrows, but I'm also gonna apply my primer first, so that my primer for my face has plenty of time to kind of set. So I'm gonna go ahead. Oh yeah, also my eyeliner was the Milani liquid eyeliner. It's like worn off, but this is probably for me. It's inexpensive, which is, you know, great. But also, this is one of the best eyeliners that I really have used for liquid eyeliner. I don't use liquid eyeliner every day. I really just use it for like these kinds of occasions or when I do big makeup looks. For me, I really don't wear much eyeliner, just lashes, but this has been really good. It's the Milani Stay Put Matte Liner. But it works well for me and I really do like this one. So for my face primer for foundation, I love the Milk Hydro. So this is just the green here. This is my favorite. It moisturizes my skin. It kind of plumps it up and it feels really, really good. So I just, you know, apply it with my fingers because I'm not a professional. And I kind of just like tap it in, getting it all over. And I always, also before I put foundation on, I wanted to let it sit and make sure it's nice and, you know, soaked in there. Go underneath my eyes. My skin is just kind of prepped and ready for foundation soon. I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyebrows. So my eyebrows take a lot of work. I do have them lightly tattooed that I've had for a while. But for this stage, you want big, dark, bold eyebrows so they really stand out because your lights are so bright, your makeup is so dark, your eyeshadow, lashes, everything. You don't want your eyebrows to be too light. So go a little bit darker than you need to. I go the darkest. I use like a black, but I have dark hair. So first, you know, just kind of brush through your eyebrows here. I like to just kind of brush them up. Eyebrow. I do the Anastasia Plum Made one. Now you guys are gonna make fun of me because when I was in France, my husband's house, literally like right after I bought this eyebrow stuff, it dropped on the tile floor and it broke and it's like a glass case. So this is it. It's just the Anastasia. Normally it would be like a little jar like that. However, it broke right after I got it and I was so sad, but I just keep it in a little container and it doesn't dry out. So that's what I will be using. I use a little pointed brush like this, little eyebrow brush. You know, I just dip it in there and I start with the outsides of my eyebrows first. It's some pointers with eyebrows. Is again, we're on stage, so we want things to look bigger, right? Our eyes are gonna be bigger, our eyeshadow, especially once you get your eyebrows on and your lashes on, you're gonna darken even further out. So you want everything to appear bigger, so your eyebrows are gonna come out a lot further than you probably are used to them doing. And just, you know, do your best to even them out. We all have one good eyebrow and one bad eyebrow, so do your best to even them out. And I will begin. This always takes me a while and lots of concentration. I have my eyebrows on. Like I said, they need to be big and bold and dark. So they may look a little crazy like in person, but on stage they will pop and be really nice. So now that you have your eyebrows set, you can, well, we're gonna go back in a little bit and add in a little bit of lightener underneath your eyebrows to highlight them a little bit more. And then once we get our lashes on, I like to deepen my corners even more so. And it's easier to do with lashes. Eyelashes, yeah. But the hard part begins of applying the face makeup, which can be very scary considering you have a very dark tan. And your face should not have already been tanned. That's a big no-no. But you want your face makeup to complement your tan, but yet you still want the middle of your face to be bright and shiny and like, you know, have a glow to it. So we have to kind of maneuver things. So I just go with kind of inexpensive products. You could get a more expensive foundation and like, I would say 3 to 4 shades darker, honestly, than your natural color that you normally wear. and I like to lighten it with adding a lighter color to it. But I just went with the Maybelline Fit Me. You know, they're like $10. You're not spending a ton of makeup because you're spending so much money on show day stuff. So I did the darkest in the Fit Me, and then I buy one that's a lot lighter, and I kind of mix and make my own color. I'm going to pour some of this in here. And then I'm gonna add a couple of drops of the lighter color just because I think it's a little too dark. But like I said, I went a little bit conservative for prejudging, and I do regret that. I wish I would have been just a little bit darker. So I'm not gonna add too much light. Just a little bit to lighten it up. And I could have probably had a lighter, darker color, if that makes sense. But I just grabbed the darkest, got the light, and then this allows me to kind of blend it to where my tan is. So I still have a little bit of tan left from show day, so this is going to seem super crazy, and when you practice your makeup, it's going to seem super crazy as well because you're going to be really dark. So as you can see, you know, it's pretty dark on my skin here. I'm going to take a beauty blender sponge, and I'm just going to really apply it to the outside of my face. I'm going to try to avoid the middle as much as I can, and then I will blend it out coming towards the middle, and then we'll go through and add lighter afterwards. So this is going to be your dark color. Like I said, applying it to the outside, starting with my neck first. And to me, this is the scariest part of doing your makeup, is applying the color here. But no matter how dark it is, you can always go back and make it lighter. And I'll like bring it down a little bit to kind of start some contouring, just like through here, right? Through the cheeks, just a little bit. But really just kind of blending it towards the center of your face. Blending it down your neck. Like I said, it's best if it kind of matches your tan just a little bit lighter. Just blend it, blend it, blend it, blend it. For me, it's easier to go in with just like a concealer and highlight and make this really bright, and then blend out a little bit more. Or you can use the same kind of light color with the sponge, and I mean, I may do that. I use a different beauty sponge than the dark that I use. So I have two. You have a dark one and you have your light one. And you can kind of go in and just make some of those areas brighter. Again, down the center of your face, think like kind of like a diamond here. We want this to be bright. I avoid really kind of getting under my eyes because I will put brighter concealer there, and I don't want it to be too much makeup or it will get like real cakey looking. So go right carefully above my eyebrows. You don't want to mess up your eyebrows already. Blend, blend, blend. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in kind of with that concealer and make it even brighter. Down the center of my nose, under my lids here. On the sides of my nose, kind of giving that contour, right? And I'll even go through here, kind of contour that a little bit. Again, avoiding right underneath my eyes. And I'm just using the Maybelline Eraser here in shade 120. So it's pretty light, but I'm just trying to brighten up the center of my face. Again, taking that light sponge here, I like to use the, you know, this side, and just if you feel like you get too much light, I get carried away with the light. I go back in with the darker sponge and just kind of re-tap here. But like I said, I'm somebody who doesn't like a very dark face. I do like my center of my face a little bit wider and brighter. I feel like it just makes me light up a little bit better than it being too dark and too much for me. But of course we want it to, like, you know, match our tan still somewhat. So I have that done. I'm gonna go in with a really light concealer. I like to use the MAC Studio Fix 24-hour concealer. This one's pretty light. This is my normal color. So this is what I do kind of right under my eyes here. And it's why I didn't put a ton of makeup and bring everything all the way up, so that I could go in with the concealer and kind of put it in. And I like to outline here. Both sides, down the side of my nose, underneath. Bring it out. Right down the center of my nose. Go in again with my light blender that I have and kind of tap that in. That, or I use a concealer brush here, and that does make it a little bit easier to control it a little bit more. And then I can blend it with the sponge after. Now I'll take the light beauty blender here and just tap it in. So I'm going to apply my eyeshadow underneath, but before I do so, I'm going to take my translucent powder, the Morphe translucent, with kind of a brush like so, and I'm going to set that concealer underneath my eyes so that it also catches any fallout from the eyeshadow, plus it sets and bakes my concealer. Yes, it's messy, makes a mess, but that's okay. While my eyeshadow is baking, concealer, sorry, I'm going to go in and do my underneath my eyes, and I'm going to use just kind of a short brush like this. It's easiest to put here, and I'm going to take those same cocoa colors that I used in my crease and out, and I'm going to use those to go underneath my eyes. I kind of just mix the two a little bit. Tap and just run it along your lash line. Now I like to blend it just a little bit, taking my same pointy brush here. I like to wipe it off and kind of blend that just a little bit. Now I will deepen the line just a little bit, going in with the same dark color here in this bottom corner, and just follow my lash line. Not real thick, just a little bit, just to make it a little bit darker. You can go two ways with your waterline. You can either do a lighter white color, which I did for prejudging. For finals, I did actually just like black in my waterline. Sometimes I just prefer black. It just makes my eyes pop a little bit better. So I'm gonna go ahead and use black this time. This is my favorite eyeliner actually, in the Maybelline Infallible Pro Last black liner. This stays best in my waterline. It's what I've used for years. I really love it. So I'm gonna go in and do my waterline in the black. Just like that. Now I'm gonna apply my lashes. I am using the Kiss, which I don't have the container for anymore, I don't think. But anyways, they're the Kiss lashes in Teddy. just drugstore lashes. Some of my favorite lashes, I love lashes. Some of them, Lily's lashes, you can get them at Sephora or online. They're really good. I think Ulta even carries them. But for the most part, I just use like the Kiss at the grocery store. They last several times, and they're honestly just as good. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply my lashes. I'm not gonna record that because it's crazy. You just need to, I think the biggest tip with lashes is putting on your lash glue, which Duo is my favorite, Duo blue and white one, is letting it dry for about 30 seconds before applying and then just setting them on there. But first, making sure you trim them for your eyelash, for your eye size, trim them and set them on there just like that. Before I start the lashes, I will brush my concealer powder underneath off with just a fan brush so that it doesn't get too cakey. And I will go ahead and put my lashes on. Now that I have my lashes applied, I feel like lashes make such a difference in your look, and it also kind of outlines your eyes a little bit more. So it lets you go in, for me, it lets me go in and apply a little bit darker to the corners because I have, you know, I know that I can come out here with the dark. Again, I don't like super dark eye makeup on stage, so I'm not gonna do a whole bunch. I really like the lighter colored look with just a hint of dark. I feel like when you start getting too dark, you start getting really shadowy on stage because the lights are so bright. So now that my lashes are on, I'm gonna go ahead and go through with the dark, and I like to use that corner color here, but I like to mix it a little bit with this fuchsia color because it lightens it, it gives it a little pop of color. So I actually kind of just like dip my pointy brush in the both here and in the fuchsia, kind of, you know, tap it off. And then I like to go in where my eyelashes kind of end and just input a little bit of darkness. So just right there at the corner, don't come. So your lashes and your eyeliner line here, you don't want to go past that. So it's already like, you know, done, right? We don't want to go past that. So I just kind of deepened that color there just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. Okay, and now I'm going to take, that's done. It's just a little bit darker. It makes me feel a little bit better. I'm going to take a flat brush here, just like that, and that's gonna go right underneath my eyebrow. So taking that same kind of bright white, glittery, like the lightest one on there, gonna dab it in there, shake it off, and I'm just gonna do right underneath my eyebrows for a little bit of highlight to separate that pink. So just right underneath, right there, you can see. With it, you can always just blend, blend, blend. Okay, eyes are done. Lashes are pretty much dried. What I like to do is take mascara. So I don't put mascara on before lashes. I do it after. So I just use, like, you know, this is actually Sephora's brand of, again, excuse my crazy tan nails, Sephora's brand of mascara. I use it every day. I actually really like it, but I'm just gonna apply it and just like tap my lashes, right? I just feel like it kind of hides your natural lashes from your fake lashes. So just tap, tap, tap. You don't have to like put a ton on. And then if you want, and if you prefer, I think it's a preference if you want bottom lashes, but I like just a little bit, not a ton. Finishing touches are bronzer, blush, and highlighter, and then setting spray. So for my bronzer, I just use my normal bronzer. It's the Nars, just the regular Casino. Casino. There's the darker ones. I use a big brush. I go in, and this is where you can probably deepen your makeup if you didn't think it was dark enough. And I just tap, right? I use a lot of product, and I just tap it in, and it helps also deepen that makeup if you got too light, which I have a tendency to do. So just tap it in, lots of product, and kind of deepen everything. Bring it underneath your neck, down. Again, I like the center of my face to be kind of bright. You can take a smaller brush, a small pointy fluffy brush like so, and kind of do a little bit of bronzer on your nose contour if you are brave enough. I just kind of shadow either side of my nose. Here, contour. Gonna go in with blush and do it. This is just something I found at TJ Maxx or Marshalls or something. It's Nicole Miller. It's just a, you know, you just want a kind of a pink color that shows up on stage. Nothing like crazy. I like to use a little bit of this one and this one. You know me, I like to mix things. So, and you're just gonna take it kind of right along. You don't want to bring it close to your nose, just kind of right along here to give you some pink color. Highlighter, I like to use Milani's highlighter here. Again, I like this brand. It's inexpensive, but yet it's very effective and works really well. So I'll just take the same brush and swipe right along top of that where I put it, the blush here. You don't need a ton of highlighter for the stage. I like to take my flat fluffy brush that I used in my lids and do the insides of my nose right here. And right down the center of my nose, just a tiny bit. We just want to kind of set everything and also do our lipstick, which is a very important part, and I will share my colors with you that I think worked perfectly. It's something that I already had. So setting powder here, we're going to use that same, what did I say this was? Yeah, the Morphe translucent setting powder. So using that same kind of big fluffy brush we set under our eyes, we're just going to set it right here in the cheeks, around our nose, around our mouth, right underneath here, around our nose, around our mouth, and then of course like on our forehead. And I like to just stay in the brighter parts of your forehead here. So just kind of set everything while we put on our lipstick. So before I put my lipstick on, I like to take my makeup remover, my makeup wipe, and clean my lips off. So I have a fresh kind of palette there after all that makeup was around it. The colors that I'm going to be using for my lipstick are a few different things. So it's the MAC liner in Plum. It's like a purple pink color, a little bit more purple. I'm also going to be using Kat Von D's Love Struck in this pink here. And then also Stila in, what is this color? Caramello? It's just a very light pink color for the center. So you don't want your lips too light or too bright or too dark on stage. Basically a nude color works best, but we're gonna do more of a pink nude color instead of like a honey beige color. Normally I would do like cork and honey beige, but we're gonna start out by sharpening our liner here. Let me zoom in just a little bit. I'm just going to line my lips, and for show day, you can kind of overline your lips, which I'm a habitual overliner anyways, because I like things to look bigger than they are. But just kind of stay on the outside of your lip and come all the way to each corner. Plus lipstick will cover it. So I'm gonna go in with Kat Von D Love Struck, which is one of my favorite pink colors. It is a matte and it's like a stay, so it's kind of drying, but it stays forever. So I have put it on, I let it dry just a little bit. I don't really need to do too much blending. I kind of am okay with that little bit of liner. I like a starker liner anyways. I'm gonna go in with the lighter color, the Stia Caramello, whatever, Caramello. I actually really like this color. So it's a very light pink. I'm just gonna go over more in the center of my lips with it to make it a little bit lighter, to like nude it up a little bit so we're not so bright pink. Unless you really want bright pink and that's your preference, I don't necessarily like a super bold lip on stage, especially when your eyeshadow is popping. That's it. I'm going to take my fan brush and wipe away all of my translucent powder here, whatever's left over. And that's it. Now this is your time to decide if you need to darken anything before you do your setting spray. You can use a little bit more bronzer to go in and darken a little bit more if you feel that you need to. Spray, of course, Urban Decay All Nighter, always. Shake it, set, and you're done.